been through. Yeah, okay, great. Thank you so much for turning the recording on. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to all of you joined through Zoom and also people who will be watching this episode of webinar 2 on LinkedIn Live or anytime later as well. Great. I am Karima Verma Osemeke, and we're happy to present to you webinar 2 of the series AI in L&D, Learning and Development, organized by Skillemme. I am a learning and development professional with 15 years of experience, and I'm here to share certain insights on how, as learning and development professionals, practitioners, consultants, and leaders, we are looking at embracing artificial intelligence, Gen AI, generative AI, and all aspects which are going to keep us future ready. Assuming that some of you or most of you would have attended the webinar 1 in which we covered certain aspects of AI and L&D. We're going to go through a quick summary as well. And today we are going to deep dive into certain practical aspects of how we can use generative AI to make our work easier, to be able to do things faster, have our thinking companion, working companion, which is generative AI, and make everybody's life easier, make learning more interesting, engaging, impactful, and bring ROI on the table for our organizations, build a learning culture. And I can't stop saying so many amazing benefits that AI brings to us in making our goals become reality faster. All right, I'm going to share my screen and take you through a series of slides as well. Okay. All right, so here you go. I hope my screen is visible. And one of you quickly give me a thumbs up or say yes, so I know we're on track. Is it visible, my screen? And one of you please quickly highlight, maybe in the chat. Okay, assuming it is. All right, so today's part 2 of 2 of our series, and we definitely want to do more work and bring to you more value-oriented insights related to this particular topic, and even deep dive with some of you with particular cases that are applicable to your organization and role. Quickly taking you through the summary of webinar 1. These are the things we covered. 1 or 2 things I'm going to still sort of show you, which we weren't able to see in just a couple of minutes from now. We spoke about AI in L&D. We in fact started by talking about generative AI a little bit. What is it and how does it work? And also debunk a few things which basically stop us from completely going out, and making AI a part of our regular day-to-day business. So we spoke about some of those things. Then a few questions, FAQs that L&D practitioners usually have and how we can overcome. We all start with the scare and fear and that uncomfortable feeling on, okay, technology is coming, so what is going to happen to me? This is exactly I was when I started sort of learning about AI and how it can change the space of L&D for me. We did actually study a few use cases such as Amazon, where starting with what Amazon's learning leaders have to say about AI and its usability, and also how Amazon turned their story around. With the application of AI, how did they solve their organizational issues? Then we spoke about a couple of case studies as well, like IBM case study also. We started off with a very interesting topic of the 6 game changers already reshaping L&D, and you're supposed to see what resonates with you and your organizational goals and start picking up 1 or 2 or 3. Start small, start with something at least, Yeah. Also, we shared certain statistics applicable globally on how people are using AI at workplace, AI in L&D, and the wave is here. It is here to stay, of course. The sooner we sort of accept that and work towards making it, and just from a buzzword to a daily word, will be more successful pretty fast. That's for sure. So yes, how do we use AI to make personalized learning paths? How do we make our systems of learning more adaptive, which suits the learner of the today, keeping in mind at each point that learners are also evolving, their needs are evolving, their challenges are evolving, the way they want to learn is also changing a lot. And as learning providers in organizations, we definitely are custodians of making that happen, so that they learn at a comfortable pace. They learn the way they want to, the way it suits them. They learn according to what motivates them. They learn in sizes that work for them. So yeah, the learner of today does not want to overload themselves with so much information. They want information to come to them in smaller packages, in a particular flow that motivates them. Certain elements of gamification, reward points, etc., can be utilized, through AI also. How do we use AI, to create content, to create chatbots and virtual coaches, which are available for your people, maybe round the clock? How do we implement gamification and automation, etc., and scale it up? And that's the beauty of technology, that it comes with an inherent feature of scalability, something that you can do with 10 people vis-a-vis if you want to implement it to 10,000 people manually, it will take you, a lot of time and effort. But when it comes to technology, it's just a few clicks away, usually. And we did speak about certain organizations, certain tools that are being used in the industry today. So yeah, this is what we have done. From the last time, I would love to play a small video. Hopefully, you'll be able to hear it as well. I hope it's audible. Please let me know in case it isn't. It's not audible. No problem. I'm going to share the screen again, make sure the sound is also shared. Okay, just 1 second. Share sound. Okay, maybe that is why. Okay, we are here again, and I'm sure this time it should work.
Role play is quick and easy.
So this basically, before we even play it, this is an example of one of the tools that I've personally used, and even piloted, called Second Nature. This particular tool, and this is just one use case of an industry, is this particular tool helps you to simulate your sales conversations. Basically, what happens is that organizations that are heavily, in sales processes, whether it is tech sales or B2B or even, any kind of services that you're selling to your customers, it's always important that our conversations are very impactful and they give the customer the value that will help them to solve their business challenges. And how do we make that impact on our customers? Imagine a scenario where your salespeople, especially the people who are front-ending the customers, if they had a mechanism of practicing some of their sales conversations before actually talking to the customer, how beautiful would that be? How much of value will it add in their real conversation? And in organizations, it might not be possible to do it manually, because you need special people there then to be able to do simulative practice with them, and the number of people who are into sales is too much. How do we get so many people to enable those practice sessions for those people if it was done in person? Now with technology coming in with this AI tool, the practice and simulative environment is created at a drop of a hat, and it becomes very easy for the salespeople to do their practice of that particular account that they'll be calling or the customer they'll be calling. You can input your data about that customer in the system, and this system will act like your customer. So if you see on the right side, there is a screenshot where you can clearly see that, one person is a sales person and the other one is the customer. So telling your product story, how do you tell your story? Because you can remember only so much sometimes. So if you practice, your story will be more impactful and more value oriented. And that's exactly what this tool does. So I'm going to, turn this video on for, it's just a short 1.5, 2 minute video for you to see how this particular thing works. And I know some of you might not be able to, at this point in time, maybe there is no particular AI tool specifically that your organization has invested in. So this particular demo or small snippet will help you to get a little bit of understanding on how the look and feel is and what it really does. So here you go.
Say hello to Second Nature's AI sales coach, giving every rep a dedicated AI coach, role-playing any conversation to make them the best at what they do. Role-playing is an incredibly effective way to learn, especially when you have the possibility to customize any role-play and any conversation. Setting up any kind of role-play is quick and easy. Create role-plays within minutes with our easy-to-use editor feature. Generate role-plays from existing resources such as PPT decks, call recordings, call scripts, and collaterals. Role-plays that sound absolutely human, on the go, generating a full library in days. Done with your role-play? Receive comprehensive objective feedback that includes your total score, a detailed analysis of strengths, improvement areas, and actionable next steps. Each piece of feedback is tailored to align with your company's core strategy, ensuring a consistent level of training and a unified process for all employees. This approach enables trainees to practice and learn in a supportive, risk-free environment, anywhere, anytime. Being ready with your talk track is crucial, but what about soft skills? Are you making enough eye contact? Moving too much? Your personalized feedback highlights exactly where and how to improve. Choose who you want to speak with.
So yes, guys, if you see this particular, I hope you were able to hear it. Even at that, I'll try to share the link in the playbook later on, where you can click on it and go and watch this complete video. In fact, explore the website and see what value this website can bring, maybe, or some similar tools can bring in your systems. So yes, it's a risk-free environment. It's a safe space for people to practice simulations. You can give data to AI, data like, we've studied that generative AI works and inputs. It churns those inputs and helps you get your answers in the way you want. So your PPT decks, your major information, collateral about that product and service can be fed into the AI system. It will churn that data, act as a customer, and give you a proper environment of, as if it was a real conversation between the customer and you. Now, at the end of which you'll get a feedback on what are some of the things that were done correctly, where improvement can be done further, and what are some of the areas that need more attention or something that was missed, etc. And that's exactly what people in sales would get a lot of help with. So this is just one tool, and like I said, the market's flooded with so many tools, and that exploration has to be done basis the business that your company is in and the requirement that is at this point in that organization or particular team, or also depends on the KRAs that you have, so you can explore all that. The next part I wanted to today cover was also related to ChatGPT, but there's something before that, which is more of I would say, an alignment of approach. We will definitely deep dive a little bit into certain prompts that ChatGPT prompts that will help you as an L&D leader, as an L&D consultant. And those prompts are just slightly generic right now. You can always go in and make changes according to your own requirements. But before that, we're on the boat to move with AI, along with AI, and bring success and revenue for our organization and create that kind of culture that impacts everyone. So to be able to really check yourself, am I ready in my mind to ride this particular wave, there are certain things we have put in together. And the first thing, of course, is mindset shift. So, by bursting certain myths in webinar one, I'm sure we're able to understand that it's nothing to get scared of. It's nothing that's just going to come in and after a few months you won't see it here. It's here to stay. It's something that will only help you, enable you. So if you remember, that's the keyword from the last time, enabler. Start looking at AI, Gen AI as an enabler. So mindset shift is the first thing. AI is not just a tool. Tools can come and go. AI is definitely an approach, a mindset, a complete shift in how we want to do things. Okay, so a reimagining of learning and delivery. Learners have changed, organizations have changed, clients have changed. So learning teams also have to change today. So that mindset shift, you have to really see for yourself. So L&D leaders are not just content creators, of course, and even the learners are not just people who can consume content. We have to look at capability, development, and architecture. Okay. And future focus, of course, is the way to go. So the trait number one is digital curiosity. Am I curious enough to explore certain, technology-based solutions? Or am I only interested in doing things manually? Is that who I am? So check for yourself, put a tick or a cross. I've just put in 4 or 5 traits for you to do a self-assessment of yourself. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to read word by word, but majorly becoming curious about technology. I always was. Also, the fact that I studied technology in my bachelor's and I've done some, tech related stuff in my career as well. So, yes, it came in naturally to me. But even for people who've never been into, tech kind of space, they'll have to really ask themselves if they're curious. Remember what happened in 2020 when there was lockdown everywhere. People who had never even gone on camera to, let's say, deliver a training program or even attend one, they started using technology like nobody's business. And I know some people who weren't so tech savvy and they just rode that wave. We had to, there was no choice. So this one is also more like we have to, okay? So that mindset has to be explorative. Explorative mindset will help you to not only now at this point in life, anytime, there is something new, valuable is coming in, it'll help you to explore. Okay, so exploration mindset is one thing, then hands-on learning. Yes, not just learning concepts will not help you. You have to go in and try a few things, click here and click there and type in certain things and go and enroll yourselves in certain courses. And I appreciate that you took time to come in for this webinar as well. And it tells me that your mindset is explorative and you want to learn, about AI because you do believe that it is valuable as well. Trait number two is data-driven decision making. How much do you value data? Because generative AI feeds on data. It helps you only when you train it properly with data. So please understand that the center of everything today is data. If you have to do business storytelling or if you have to bring your case with your top leadership, etc., data speaks your story. So please remember, I personally can vouch for the fact that I have solved a lot of my work related problems, whether it's stakeholder management or, being able to crack an interview or anything. It's through data that we've been able to do it. So please make sure that, that centricity is maintained. The third number is collaboration with tech and product teams. So be ready. Today, if let's say you're as an L&D team, you explore a particular product. And I'm not talking about Chat, GPT, and those basic LLMs at the point. I'm talking about a particular tool. For example, the one I just demonstrated was Second Nature. So, for instance, your organization to sales and you like that tool and you want to create that practice simulative learning for your people, not only for sales. I think I spoke about another tool last time. I'm sorry if I didn't. I'll speak about it right now. So, I used to work with a particular company and they had created leadership development programs using simulations. But at that time, AI was not there. I'm talking about 8 or 9 years ago. They weren't built using AI. And now today, I mean, they've completely revamped all those products using AI. So, how do you learn leadership skills through AI and game-based solutions? So if you're looking at a particular product, you have to be able to explain the requirement to your technology team, and sometimes you have to work with product team. Let's say you're, buying this product, second nature, just as an example. And second nature helps you to customize your solution. So to be able to get that customized solution that works for your team, sometimes you have to talk about exactly what your needs are. So that clarity has to be there. Human-centered thinking, I would not spend any minute on this particular point, because we're assuming that we're, even the organization Skillemme, or whether it's me here delivering this program and attendees, everybody, we all care about people. We all care about their learning, their growths, how do they go to the next level? And we're all enablers for that. So human-centered thinking is something I think we've got in our DNA now, and it's in the DNA of almost all organizations as well. Everybody talks about people today. So a very, very important place for people in the time of today. Are you ready to experiment, strategic experiment, like a pilot kind of a thing? Any tool that you look at exploring or piloting will require you to, have that mindset where not only exploration is there, but a proper strategic implementation of something happens. You use it, let's say, test 5 features with 20 people and document the result. See how the trends are changing for those people, what improved in those 20 people who practiced using simulations before going to customer calls. Compare their older data with this new data, compare their data with other people's data. So that kind of experimentation will also be required. Then continuous reskilling will of course be required, guys. AI is not something that you can learn and sit back. It's like any other technology, it is constantly evolving. Think of anything today. Microsoft Excel is not the same as it used to be 20 years ago, 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago, or even 2 years ago. So if that basic thing like MS Excel, which we used to put in our, data, is changing, imagine AI, which has capability of machine learning, is changing so much. So yes, I'm not saying that, oh, that is going to become your top priority. It might not, but yes, sort of, you need to reskill yourself. If I am training today on usage of AI within L&D, I will not be speaking of the same things next year, because the next year AI would have probably brought more value in L&D. So I'll be talking about new things as well. So that constant reskilling as an L&D practitioner, I think, is anyway a very important thing that keeps us very refreshed and bring value to our people. So yes, we have to be ready to learn first and then develop. So I like to break learning and development, and not that we are learning champions. The fact that we are open to learning and then developing people, and that's a constant cycle that doesn't really ever stop. Okay, so these are some of the things I'd like you to explore. Those are just pointers on, okay, where am I? Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, see where you are and what you need to do to, rate yourself higher. The next thing I'd like to speak about is more of a, putting possibility to practice. So what I've done basically here is from my own side, I've created certain prompts that can help learning professionals, L&D professionals and teams to, generate inputs that can add value to their work. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you the prompt, give you the use case, and maybe we can go back to ChatGPT, put that prompt and see what it gives. Whatever input you give to ChatGPT, or when I say ChatGPT, I mean you're free to explore other models or other tools or platforms as well. You have ChatGPT, Perplexity, Grok, Google's Gemini, etc., etc. So list is kind of long, but I somehow I've gotten hooked on to ChatGPT. So I'm going to just take that one. But yeah, more or less all of them understand those particular prompts. Okay, so we'll go one by one, and that's the plan for today. I am still sort of completing the playbook that I promised I'll give you after the session 2. So hopefully on Saturday you should get an email with the playbook, in which I'll try to compile more and more of information or practical topics extended beyond these 2 webinars as well. So yeah, hopefully before Monday you should have it, hopefully on Saturday. Yes. Okay, so coming to prompt number one, this is something which all of us either do or get done within our teams. So feel free to, go back and train your team members also to start using some of these things. The first use case I have put in here is to create detailed content quickly. And, when you give a prompt to ChatGPT, for instance, or any of these models, you give a prompt and then you get some output, and basis how much valuable that output is, you might want to go and edit the prompt or tell it to add certain more things in the output or remove certain things. So that is like a series of steps. Sometimes, do not assume that because it's technology and it's very smart, etc., one prompt that goes in is going to just give me exactly what I need. It might not happen. It usually doesn't happen. Okay. So if you look at this prompt, design a 2-hour interactive training module on giving constructive feedback for the first time managers. Include learning objectives, session flow, interactive activities, real life examples, and one virtual friendly icebreaker. So if you had to do it manually, I wouldn't want to go there though, but if you had to, it'll take you a few hours, sometimes even, depending on the length of the program. So we're looking at 2 hours. Sometimes it happens, and I'm sure a lot of you will be able to relate to it. Sometimes even to make, think about, or, completely from concept to before delivery, it takes you more time to put all of that in place than it takes you to actually deliver. So yeah, that's how it happens. And once you, for example, design a program, for example, giving constructive feedback, you can always go back to it and edit it. So that's how automation and scalability works. You don't have to, do it from the scratch. So I'm going to just try to copy this prompt. Okay, also I have to stop it for 1 second so I can share my complete screen where you'll be able to see my ChatGPT as well. So the idea was so I've just kept it very basic for now. And like I said, you might want to edit it according to your needs. Okay, so this is what it is. Okay, design a 2-hour interactive program. Okay, I think it looks okay. Let's just run the prompt. I want to believe that some of you would have done this kind of thing before, and this will just be like a refresher for you. So here you go. So look at the beauty of AI, that it's literally giving you like a breakdown. I didn't even ask for it. It is giving me uh, breakdown of how I should be executing this program, assuming that I start at 00. It's taking me up to 2 hours. Every 5-minute detail it's giving me, and I can request it to, for example, uh, this is what I got. Okay, we're not going to delve into it too much. You can always look at it and change the prompt as you need it. Now, this was for first-time managers. One thing I want to show you is this is for first-time managers. Now I go here, I've seen it. Okay, fine. It has given me something decent enough. Align, or let's say tweak your response to make this program suitable for senior managers. That's exactly what you can very quickly within seconds do. So the kind of questions or the kind of topics it has chosen for first-time managers, it will definitely go ahead and make them more suitable for senior stakeholders as well. So this is how one more thing that you can do for your audience is to be able to generate and conceptualize and also create the same program maybe for different audience. Okay, so let's ask ChatGPT what it has done. What all have you changed from first time managers to senior managers? What all changes you have made from first-time managers to senior managers. Okay, so this is very interesting to watch, see how it's thinking, because we don't have time to read the whole prompt. For first-time managers, the depth and scope has changed. It has elevated the depth and scope when it came to senior managers, because senior manager role is slightly more strategic than a first-time manager role. So from basic understanding to strategic use, from focus on how to give feedback, to focus on how to model, foster, and sustain a culture. A first-time manager is rather a junior role, but a senior manager is somebody who is responsible to do the strategy work, make sure that there's an ongoing culture of feedback, etc. And that's the beauty, guys. This is how we are reducing our time to things. There's so many changes it has made. If we had time, we could delve into it, looking at manually, but this is how it is. The two models of feedback frameworks it has used for first-time managers are SBI and Boost, and it's added another feed-forward model, which is more future-focused, more proactive, where you give feedback to people before the actual event has happened, which is more empowering. So if senior managers had to give feedback, they can't just use basic models. They have to think forward, more deeper into how they can change their entire team's perspective by adding some newer tools like this. Okay, simpler examples, more complex and diplomatic examples. So these are the changes. So that's the smartness of ChatGPT here, which has changed the whole approach. If you see, these are the 8 major changes it is telling me that it has brought in, delivering the same program of coaching and feedback skills done by first-time managers vis-a-vis are done by senior managers. Okay. So this is where we are. I hope it's making any sense. Any questions, please feel free to put in the chat box. I'll try to answer. So this was one. Then the next one we are looking at, I'm so sorry, I don't know, somehow while just putting it here, certain things have moved. But anyway, so this is the next prompt. The next prompt is about generating icebreakers. So within your training program or any kind of L&D intervention, if you want to generate icebreakers. So this is one prompt. I'm going to just type in a prompt that I feel I want to type. For example, help me generate two icebreakers for a training program for freshers, let's say campus to corporate, and also two icebreakers in which I am for a program. I'm delivering to senior sales leaders. So I'm talking about two programs here. One is for freshers and one is for senior sales leaders. So how does it help me to generate two icebreakers? Any additional instructions, like keep the icebreakers extremely interactive, engaging, and very relatable. There we go. Okay. So see how I want to show you how it contextualizes and personalizes your prompts and changes the output. So for freshers, the basic icebreakers are created emoji check-in, my first week at work, how it works, why it works. And if you want more details in the icebreaker, let's say I have a group of 20 people, tell me how to execute it within 20 people. It will give you even those details. It'll ask you to make 2-3 volunteers and decode emojis aloud, blah, 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 some basic fun ones. But the moment I come to senior stakeholders, if you see, pitch me this pen with a twist. Okay, sales war room, one deal, many blocks. So it is made. I think this one this one is still slightly basic, but yeah, I mean this one I think is good, where there's a war room and it's asking you to decode a fictional sales scenario where you're trying to look at 2 crore deal. Imagine if this icebreaker was done with freshers, they'll be very uncomfortable with this. So it's completely aligned to the work that senior sales leaders do. You understand? We're talking about closing a 2 crore deal with a large retail chain, but the client is now, if I can give more details about those sales leaders, it can even further contextualize and make it more relatable, the icebreakers. So this is what we do. This is the second thing. And the way we are generating icebreakers, you can generate anything, any interactive activity. So for instance, help me design a group activity for leadership development, program focus on organizational values, especially collaboration. Now, if one of the organizational values is collaboration for my organization, just an assumption, you can change it to something else also. Help me design an active group activity for leadership development program on collaboration. I can change it. I can make it, let's say, customer delight. I can make it people first. Anything that works for your organization. Okay. Okay, let's see what it gives me. So customer delight is one of the values of my organizations, let's say, and I want to design a group activity. I can even provide a ChatGPT the number of people I'm talking about. I can provide ChatGPT the fact that this activity will be done in a virtual setting or a face-to-face, in-person classroom, whatever is applicable, or both, which is kind of a hybrid. Okay, so this is how it's breaking the activity down for me. The objective of activity is to explore customer delight, blah, blah, blah. Activity concept is this, that the groups have to resolve a complex, emotionally charged customer scenario, not just solving an issue, but delighting the customer. 12 to 40 participants. And this is how my activity will flow. Can you imagine? I have everything right here. So these are the ways in which I am very certain some of you are already using ChatGPT and generative AI, and some of you, I'm sure, can get ideas from here and go for it. Another thing that learning professionals can do using ChatGPT is to simplify a particular concept, explain the difference between coaching and mentoring, for example. A lot of people sometimes are confused between the two in under 100 words. So you have to be able to tell ChatGPT in exactly how, the more detailed your prompt is going to be, the better suitable the output is also going to be. Using simple language and workplace example relevant to new team leaders and corporate setting. So I can tell ChatGPT to explain a concept to me in a simplified language. Or let's say there is a particular document that's been created within the team to get something executed, and you want to pass that message in a very simple way to some other team members or some other people. You can input that PDF or that PowerPoint or that Word document, or paste the text and tell it to make it simple or sometimes even complex, because just the way we generated or conceptualized a particular program for first time managers and then upgraded it to suit senior sales leaders, you understand. So yes, this is also very much possible. I can give you a small example on how we can simplify a concept. Help me simplify in simple language. Give me top 5 reasons for L&D leaders to start embracing AI in their work and vision, let's say. Just give me bullet points. Okay. So these are the reasons, okay? And if, let's say, your input is full of jargons and buzzwords, you can always ask ChatGPT to break that down for you. So these are top 5 reasons I have put in a very simplified way in how uh, learning leaders why learning leaders should look at AI. Now, make another version of the same output that will influence my CEO to consider making certain investment in AI tools, um, focus on how it will bring more ROI. So what I've done here, and this is also a common challenge for us learning professionals sometimes, that we do see value in certain technology or tools, but when we want to bring investments on the table, sometimes it's sort of difficult to influence, let's say the top leaders of the organization. That can happen. So first, I asked AI to give me the top 5 reasons why learning leaders should embrace AI. And now I want to use these reasons, but I want to be able to speak to, let's say, in a 15-minute quick presentation to my CEO. I want to use these points, but this is not the way in which he will be influenced. So then I'll take help from ChatGPT to create that influence on my CEO. Also understand that CEOs speak the language of ROI, so please make sure everything's focusing on ROI in some way. Okay. So let's see what we get. So how I am able to highlight certain points, which will give him more and more assurance that this is an investment which is going to definitely bring more returns for me as compared to do that. You can also tell ChatGPT to an email. I can pitch like influence them to help us to invest, let's say. There you go. So all these points can also be converted into an impactful email. Okay. This is how. So it's there. There's no end to how much you can go left or right or center or up and down. It depends on what you want to do with on priority, let's say. Okay. So yes, now we have an email. I can tell it to this to an email, make it shorter, make it longer, make it more professional, make it slightly more witty, make it more focused on courtesy, etc., etc. All those basic things definitely are there. We can do. The next um, thing is about developing reflective questions. So within the adult learning principles gamut, we cannot remove, especially people who are in corporate L&D, we can't remove focus from how adults learn and want to learn. So yes, sometimes within your concepts that you are designing, let's say a particular point that you want to drive, it's very important during that journey of that learning for that learner to be able to answer certain questions and reflect. So you can tell ChatGPT, it's a very simple thing. So generate 5 thoughtful reflection questions for participants to consider after attending training session, growth mindset in workplace. Focus on behavior change, mindset shifts, and practical application. So I delivered a program on growth mindset, let's say, and I want my participants to not only remember the program as such, but also be able to uh, you know, uh, reflect on the broad learnings, you understand. So if I put the prompt here, okay, let's see what kind of questions ChatGPT is helping me generate. Now, how do I use these questions is up to me. do I want to put them in my presentation or in addressing people in the classroom, or do I want to convert this into a post training sort of a I would not call it an assessment, but a post training task, let's say, for them to do a self assessment basically. So yeah, when was the last time I avoided challenge at work? So you can also use certain questions and expand the list and do like a pre and post. So if you're doing like a 1 day program or an 8 hour program on this particular topic of growth mindset, which you want to do 2 hours a week, and it runs for 4 weeks. Okay. In between, you want to, or before and after the session, you can put in these assessments and let people reflect even before they came into your session. Let them reflect on what they think about growth mindset today. And then going through that journey with you, that journey, I'm assuming, will be full of engagement and interaction and a lot of new learnings. And at the end of which, you can put similar questions to them and see how their responses have changed over time. You can generate all of this within a span of a couple of seconds. So this is what I was pointing at. This, for example, is very long questions. Let's say I wanted to convert these questions into MCQs, keep language simple, yet uh, do not lose the essence of the questions, helping the participants reflect on the main points. So this is up to me how I want to customize output for my learners. Okay, so now I have a proper assessment being ready. I can put it up in an Microsoft form or Google form or whatever. I can do that as well. So it's all there. It's just there. We just have to dive in and sort of play with it a little bit. The next prompt, what just happened? Apologies for that. So some of the content is just okay. Don't move. Anyway, I'll just keep it to that. So majorly is the prompt, create a level 1 reaction and level 3 behavioral. So we're talking about Kirkpatrick model of evaluation here, which is divided into 4 levels. I'm assuming all of you know that. But yeah, so create a level 1 and 3 training evaluation template. So please remember that this is just one example of template. You can create more templates for different things that you want to do in the learning and development practice. So help me create that template for a virtual leadership training program. Includes 5 questions for each level with a mix of Likert scale and open-ended formats. Okay, so it helps you to create a structured evaluation, this thing which you can reuse. Kirkpatrick model is something which has been prevalent in evaluation systems for I don't know how many decades now, and newer models have come in, etc. But this one's still very impactful. So how do you evaluate that template? So this is one example that you see, but maybe I can show you another very basic one to create a template, or maybe it can even be an evaluation template. So let's see. Help me create a templates to capture or evaluate on Kirkpatrick level 1 to 4. Let's say 3. For leadership program. So you have to specify, I only need a template. I only need blank templates. All right, let's see what we have. So there you go. Level 1 basically is an instant reaction that you copy right after the training is over. What did you like about it? How was the trainer? How could it be improved? What are your comments and sections? Then it's actual learning is captured in level 2. Like, did the person really learn? That's usually done by managers as well. So, what were the scores that you captured from the manager of the person who came to attend that program before the training and after. So usually done by the managers in self-reflection as well. Then level 3 is behavior. This manager's reaction is very much important. Also, what are some of the core behaviors that program addressed, and how have these behaviors changed over time. So these are the templates you can download and print them, and keep them in the digital format as you like it. It's easy. I can show you another example of a template, which will even make the concept more clear. Help me generate a blank template for evaluating a an executive coaching session done by this coaching is being done for the VP of operations, specifically addressing the challenges of uh, constantly growing teams he has to handle. So I've taken an example of an executive coaching, which is being given to a VP of operations, in which the main challenge that person is facing is that the teams under him are constantly expanding. So he's facing certain challenges there. So executive coaching is being done for that person, enabled by L&D, and we want a template to be able to evaluate the overall effectiveness of the program. Okay, so we're evaluating the effectiveness and execution also. So I mean, you can change the prompt as you want, and here you go. So session by session, you can give ChatGPT more inputs, and these are the 4 sessions or 5 sessions we're looking at. Session 1 will focus on this. Session 2 will focus on capturing the areas which have been challenging for this person because of growing teams, and what are their responses. So you can give the outline of the program to them, and there you go. Session by session, you can capture this. Now, if let's say I don't like it, I can always tell ChatGPT to modify this program in the template in some other way. Okay, so this is 1 or 2 examples around creating evaluation templates. Create learning paths. Learning paths can be created, using ChatGPT. Beautiful, very beautifully. It's a part of the content development journey as well. And the main area of, so through a path, you're basically taking certain people from point A to point D. If you see, it will usually be like a long program, like a 30-day learning path for customer service representatives who want to improve empathy, conflict. So these are the skills I want them to improve. Suggest a mix of videos, reflection prompts, short articles, and practice activities. So it looks like this is for slightly junior people. Okay. And you'll be able to engage them only when there's a lot of interactive videos, a lot of fun elements also in their articles and stories and whatnot. So there you go. Let's see how ChatGPT will help me create a 30-day learning path. It's giving me week by week, very, very impactful, because I did actually run these prompts before putting them in the PPT. I did go back and made sure that they're giving some kind of good results for sure. Foundations of empathy is there. Day 1, we'll just watch a video. Day 2, we're going to read about empathy and sympathy. Day 3 is going to be a reflection day, then practice activity. Then there's going to be another video. And let's say, I want to do like a 5-day week kind of thing. I can always ask it to modify. So look at the kind of inputs that I give, and look at the outputs. That 30-day journey program ready within less than 30 seconds. But if you have to really go back and think, I know this may not be perfect. I'm always saying that the prompts that you give are to begin with. Okay, fine, give the prompt, let the output come. The output may not be perfect. You may have to go back and still do some work there, but look at the kind of thinking it helps you to do. I'm not telling you copy this and send it out. No. Sit on it, spend a little bit of time, make sure that it's robust and it fulfills, the need. Turn slides into storytelling, guys. Very, very simple. Again, you can, I'll just show you the prompt here. We might not have time to run the prompt at this point, but I'll just show it to you. Convert the following 5 bullet point slides on psychological safety into a storytelling style in a script. Okay, so we don't have time, but yeah, I mean, let's say you have a particular slide or 5, 6 points and you want to convert those points into a story, please give it to ChatGPT, let it do it for you. Okay. So ChatGPT is an LLM, large learning language model, but a lot of other very visual tools are also helping you do these things. Some of the tools we've already discussed. So yes, converting 5 bullet points into a story, like I don't need, bye PPT, I don't need you. I'm going to tell my people a story and drive those points home. And that is the engagement the learners are looking for. Okay. The next one is assessments and quizzes. I think we've already created, assessment in one of the previous prompts as well. Learning announcements, email. How do you write an email? Write a professional and engaging email to announce a new mandatory diversity, equity, and inclusion training. Mention the training objective, who is it for, completion deadline, etc., etc. We've just written an email to the CEO asking for investment for a particular tool. So yeah, the email writing prompt is already being shared. Thank you so much, Farouk. I have the paid version. Yes, Farouk, I do invest money in certain tools. It really helps me, do my work also better. Thanks for the question. Summarizing key learnings. Yeah, I mean, how did I create the summary slide for this particular PPT that I'm using? It's also through ChatGPT. Okay, so ChatGPT has helped you to create a 30 or let's say 4-week program on a particular topic, let's say, okay. And next every time you meet people on a Monday, you've already done a week before, so you spend 5 minutes in doing a quick summary of what was done in the last week, etc. So use ChatGPT to help you create those kind of impactful slides and content. So tell ChatGPT, help me generate a quick activity using what was done in the last week. So ChatGPT already has inputs because it created the program outline for you. What was done in the last week was from 1 to 5 days, certain, inputs, certain topics were covered. And now you're telling ChatGPT to convert a recap session into an activity. It does it beautifully. So in short, this is where we are I mean, I'm completely, of course, convinced on the fact that we are there. AI is staring at us. We're staring back at AI. It's time to handshake, enable each other. And why I said enable each other also is because completely AI generated content, sometimes especially through ChatGPT, may not be 100% usable without human intelligence. So I think artificial intelligence, human intelligence work together to get, I would say to drive the point home. Yeah. I hope, these insights, these prompts, your own readiness, and how AI is changing the world of learning and development, and whatever I've shared has given you, power to, think further. And this was majorly slightly basic to intermediate level. If you want to do some more programs at the next level, we can definitely, engage with you or your organization and bring more value, particularly required, with respect to how AI can help your organization and what areas AI can help and how and what is the return on investment. So this is it from my side. Again, my name is Garima Verma. Thank you very much for being here. Over to you, Patil. The mic is all yours. I'm also very tired of speaking. I'm going to grab my water.
Thank you, Garima, for this very beautiful session. So, thank you all for joining in for both the phases of this AI and L&D webinars. So, over these two sessions, I think we explored how AI is transforming L&D, bringing in personalization, data-driven insights, and smarter ways of engaging learners. A special thanks to again Ms. Karima for simplifying complex concepts and sharing practical perspective with us. So we hope,
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Skillemme. Thank you, Patil. Thank you,
yeah,
Suruchi.
yeah. So we
Thank you,
hope
Swaroop.
these sessions have inspired us to think differently and the future of learning in the organizations. AI is not just a trend but a powerful enabler to make L&D more impactful and future ready, as Karim also stressed upon. So on behalf of Skillemme, thank you once again for your time and participation. We look
Thank
forward to
you.
staying connected and continuing
Bye.
this learning journey together. So good day, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
thanks, Karim.
Bye-bye.
Good day.